Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam L, and this is Talk with the Titans. On tonight's show, we've got my beloved brother, Netjer in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Hotep to you, King.
Hotep. Hi, everybody. Talk with the Titans.
Jeez, we're about to go in. Listen, if you lot don't know what's going on, let me get you lot all informed. Today, you know what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be going into the Medu Netjer, the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph language, its script. We're going to go into some comparative linguistic methods, go into different African languages that you can find sound correspondence in, as well as a timeline of the ancient Egyptian decipherment process. So this is going to be like a very explosive show that is one not to be missed. I'm personally calling it a supplement, an actual supplement to the young Pharaoh and Sara Suten Seti debate lecture that they gave. So this is an excellent supplement to that. So if you've got a critical mind, you can observe that lecture and observe some of what's going on today and do some research, everybody. Let's get into the mode of doing some research. So today's like a quick study session. It's a study session. It's going to get real meaty. We're going to go into some real topics. We're going to delve into, oh my gosh, if you see how many books I've got lined up, textbooks I've got lined up right now, piled up, you're going to know what we're going to go into. So it's going to be like a quick, I'm aiming for 30 minutes. I'm lying. It's really going to be about 45 minutes long show because my brother's going to come back in again on the Wednesday. So this is just like a little taster of what we got in store for you. So this is my brother, Netjer. Peace again, King. Peace. Let me just reintroduce you, man. I want to know how long have you been in the Kemetic community and learning about its culture, its heritage, and the language system itself?
Well, I've been studying in African traditional culture since I was mainly like 18 years old. I'm 36 now. I went through a lot of schools of thought that taught about Egyptian culture and hieroglyphs. So now, probably for like 3.5 years to 4, I've been initiate with Seba Kim Priest, Hieroglyphs in Baltimore. And I've been a Netjer student for at least 2.5 years and linguistic student for at least 2 years with Dr. Riketti Amin in the Institute of Kemetic Philology. I cannot hear you, brother. Technical difficulties. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know where did you hear me last?
After I introduce the timeline of my studies.
Okay, cool. All right. Wow, that's a long time. That's a long time. So what I'm saying is, could everybody please hit the share button, share this link on your social media, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Google Plus, your Reddit, wherever you can, WhatsApp, even your text message, wherever you can, share this link because our brother is going to drop some powerful information, real powerful information for us. So he's going to give us some voice offering of the information he's learned throughout the years. So it'd be grand if you lot could share this information. I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize again for the sound going off. But yeah, let's get into this right now. So my brother, I want to know. I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the Medu, the hieroglyphs. I want to know, what is this? Is this a language? Is this a script? What is this that we hear about called the Medu?
Well, the Medu is you could see it on Egyptian inscriptions. Maybe Wednesday I can share some, and they call that language Medu or writing of the Netjer, or you can say it, some scholars say it different ways. Some scholars say God's speech of God. Some scholars, like I say, I use Netjer, I use Netra myself. So Medu can mean writing in the inscriptions, or Medu can mean speech. So the speech or writing of Netjer.
Wow. Okay. So I want to know this whole writing system. Where did it originate? Did it have an originator according to the ancient Egyptians?
Well, the originators were the Africans of the Nile Valley who came up with, of course, the speech was before the writing. And if that's the case, we already know, me and you and other scholars know this language, because the writing is proven to be very old. Some of the first evidence of the writing, at least, was found on labels in Kemet, in archaeological artifacts. And that's very old. It was used as labels and then progressively moved on in prehistoric Kemet to archaic Kemet. And it's a very old writing script. Who invented it? The people of the Nile Valley, the Africans, invented this system based on their environment, and actually ingeniously put what was in their living environment and made it into a alphabetical system, a triliteral, uniliteral. It's a very complex system, and it's ingenious from the Nile Valley Africans who created it.
Wow. Okay. So you know what? There's been a big hoo-ha over the last few months on the ancient Egyptian language system, whether it has been deciphered. I know the Amun-Ra squad has been going back to back with, our general Sara, Suten, Seti, be going back with our young god, young Pharaoh. I want to know, from your stance, from where you're standing, has the ancient Egyptian language been deciphered?
Yes, the ancient Egyptian writing system has been deciphered accurately, 100% accurately. Champollion and Thomas Young and others, it took a process over some years, and they, looked at each other's work and their errors and improved from errors. That's why I say all scholars should learn from error, not bash your brother because he in error, because that's how these scholars actually learn from each other's error. And not only that, it'd been deciphered actually over 100 years ago. This is an old debate. That's why the research I did, I added more information to it to update us what's going on. What we're doing as a research center is genetically relating other African languages to Egyptian, and possibly reconstructing our own hypothetical proto-language. And from that stance, we got to look at those factors there regarding the Medu writing system.
Okay. Jeez, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, damn, that just sounds powerful. I want to know if everybody is getting this information right now. Listen, for everybody who's tuned in fresh right now and have no clue about Talk with the Titans, Talk of the Titans was birthed out of the idea that the intellectual giants, the titans of our community, should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community, proposed by you, our audience member, the community. So you know what? There's been a big hoo-ha, big questioning, big debates about this information, about the decipherment. So, I need some visuals right now because I'm hearing you talking, but I need some actual facts. I need something that I can see. I need something that is solid. So I want to know, do you have a timeline that you can give me that's corroborated, that is certified, that you can kind of show that, I don't know, maybe let's just say from the top of my head, let's say from about 500 BC, other people were deciphering the language, or the whole process. Please show me something, because I personally can't believe that this language has been deciphered, and you're telling me it's been done for the last 100 years. So what is everybody talking about then?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see a screen. Let me make sure I have it up. There you go.
All right, well, this is part of my work, Systematic History of Decipherment, Section 1, which I actually create my own timeline. Other scholars, of course, when you read into the sources of the Egyptian language and history, you already know that each scholar has their own, chronologically a timeline that took place. So I'm just want to show the people, this is just my literature and database review, part 1. This is all of the texts that I've read on this subject. Rosetta Stone by Budge was the most simplest one in the Champollion documents, which is really written in French. But
hold on. Are you talking about this particular book right here? This one here, the Rosetta Stone by E.A. Wallace Budge?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. I see you, my brother. I see you.
So I got that as first for the community to read that source, the Rosetta Stone by Budge. I have Ancient Egyptian Literature, a book of readings by Marian Lithium, African Philosophy by the Pharaonic period by Obenga, other books, Essays on the Hieroglyphic System by Champollion, Pediced System Hieroglyphica under the title Du Texte de Kemet of Alexandria. That's Champollion as well. So I go through a lot of sources before I get to my timeline. I even have Arabic sources, direct Arabic sources of actually Arabic scholars trying to decipher the glyphs, and actually got some of the glyphs accurate. And that's the crazy part. The Arabic scholars actually came up with a system to try to find characters that matches the alphabetical system, meaning the uniliterals system. So they was trying to say that the Egyptians had an alphabet, while people in that era was claiming that it was purely ideographic. So I have a lot of the sources, as y'all see. Now I'm gonna go straight to my timeline. My timeline starts here. This is Netjer's historical systematic timeline. I use methods of Dr. Tadika Kilimanjaro's historical research methods. And what I did was archive data methods, collect all from those sources I read, and I created a timeline based on scholars that actually advanced this study, that actually, even though some of that information was inaccurate, they at least had something right. So I did a timeline based on each scholar, and I showed directly their work and what they had right and what some of the things that they had inaccurate. So I show a progression. So we start from 5th century BC, Hieroglyphs translation by Philippus. Even though this is a secondary source, we see that even in the 5th century BC, scholars was trying to decipher this, decode this mystery language, so-called mystery language of the Egyptians. And I also showed that Hieroglyphs was inaccurate in a lot of his theses. Also, he thought that the system was purely ideographic as well, meaning based on ideas and not had a grammar and that type of system to the language. But Hieroglyphs, as you will see, is that in my work, is that Hieroglyphs actually got some, being that he was knowledgeable in the Egyptian culture, he actually had some of the symbols correct. We show from his time to our time and compare the data of the 5th century to 2017 and how we decipher it. And actually, that brother was accurate. You had Clements of Alexandria, who estimated and guessed, which was maybe a guess, but remember, these people were traveling to Egypt and they was familiar with the culture. And this European Clements of Alexandria actually got some things correct. He speculated that the Egyptians had a different type of writing system all throughout Kemet. It was different Egyptian languages. He said you had the languages, the hieroglyphic system that deals with signs. You had them in a cursive type, deals with the priestly, and he theorized of other types. Dul Nun Mizri, a timeline 796 through 861 AD. We go into the Arabic scholars, two of them, Dul Nun al Mizri and Ibn Washir, which some are direct texts. The Ibn Washir text is a primary text, but it was still in the form of a secondary text. So it was another scholar who mentioned his work and recorded his work and put it in his source. So you had Ibn Washir and Dul Nun al-Mizri who speculated about the Coptic languages. Ibn Washir even tried in phonetic alphabet during that time. He literally got some of the glyphs correctly that we use in our alphabetical, how we translate the Egyptians these days. So you had Jahan
That's
David
right.
Ackerblade.
Real quickly, Ibn Washir again. That's my guy right here. You know, he's my guy. This guy here. Let me just show you from the Arabic text going in, deciphering it from the Arabic into the ancient Egyptian. Jeez. Okay. Carry on, my brother. I'm seeing that you're going in. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing.
Want me stop sharing?
No, we're still sharing. We're still sharing.
Okay. So we see, like you're right. You're exactly right. You had Ibn Washir who put together a phonetic alphabet and actually had some of the symbols correct. You know, that was very surprising. John David Ackerblade contributed a lot. He actually did some strong contributions with Demotic, which was another form found on the Rosetta Stone. He did some forms in the Demotic, and these forms that was in the Demotic actually got some of them right. And he even studied the Coptic language, which is an African language that was used to help decipher the Meta Netjer. Thomas Young, even though, you know, some of his information was inaccurate, but some of the stuff that he did was accurate. He actually deciphered Ptolemy name first. It was Thomas Young who did it first, and Champollion did it and went back to Thomas Young works to help him. So all of these scholars did something very important when it came to decipherment of the Meta Netjer. As you see, it took, you know, 5th century BC, 200 AD, 861 AD, 819, Johann David Ackerblade, Thomas Young, 1829, Champollion, 1790 to 1832. And within these dates, remember, these are just beginning and end dates. I haven't went in between directly. The sources give you the direct dates, and you'll see all the dates match up equally. So when you go in between these dates on my timeline, you see that each person, man, did a hell of a good job in coming with this system. And Champollion was the main one who really took everyone's work and really did a linguistic assessment with Coptic and took heed of the Arabic scholars' vision of Coptic being an extension of the Egyptian language. And Champollion really put his foot down and did great research into deciphering the Meta Netjer. And that was in the 1800s. So this was done, you know, over 100 years ago.
Wow, now that's some powerful information, my brother. Real powerful information. I know a lot of people are saying, like, what's that book again? What's going on? Is my brother really saying that the hieroglyphs can be readable? So, you know, I'm just kind of reading the comments right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. Damn. You know, if you could just flip that back up again. So our audience members can kind of see those authors, those scholars, and their works,
Okay.
because
Sure.
I want to make sure everybody. I want to make sure everybody actually goes back, do the actual due diligence, research this information, put it back to the other clip where you showed the timeline if possible as well.
Okay. I'm gonna show literature and database review. Y'all get this, screenshot this. I read, every page of these works. Even I had trouble with the French, but being I study linguistics, I pick up a little bit of French here and there. So it was, pretty much good. But you see all the sources starting from the Rosetta Stone by Budge and going all the way through. Even Dr. Racketti's name mentioned, Theophile Benga name is mentioned, Champollion name. These are primary sources on the Meta Netjer. I mentioned online encyclopedias, digital databases. I mentioned Arabic sources, like one of the scholars, the Missing Millennium book, Ancient Egypt and Medieval Arabic writings. I mentioned page numbers, hadiths, some of the hadiths that was written during that time mentioned it. It's a lot of information dealing with this, as y'all see. It was letters. Champollion wrote letters to other scholars. Other scholars was writing letters back to back, discussing their findings within letters. Same way how we doing on Facebook. Somebody probably come with a discovery, put it on a book, or send it to their, brother or something through letter form, digital letter forms. So they did the same thing as well in that research. I'm gonna go to the timeline here. Oh, this is just a rough draft of my research here anyway, but we see HST timeline from 5th century BC, Heracles, and 200 AD, Clements of Alexandria, 796 to 7861, Dul El Mizri and Ibn Washir, John David Archibald, Thomas Young, Champollion. And within my work, what I do is that I get in detail of the primary literature and secondary literature, and I just go into detail into each of those people's ideologies and their systems and show it, and then I compare their systems with the systems that we have today. That was fathered by Champollion himself. So we go into these systems to indicate that it took a process. Each scholar got better as the years went by. Each scholars was learning from each other mistakes and errors. So this was a great time into trying to decipher the Meta Netjer here.
Hey, I see. I'm here just reading this. I'm trying to find a little something here that I saw on somebody's page that really ties in perfectly with what you're announcing right now. Unfortunately, I'm unable to find it, so I can't even share it. Let me just double quickly check right now. We've got Brother G Consciousness up in the building with us as well. Who else? We've got Common Sense, Alpha Centauri. Thanks, Kalam. Will this book you recommend have all the glyphs? Nope, it doesn't have all the glyphs, but it has a good number of the uniliterals and some of the other alphabetic texts, or like biliteral scripts as well. And it also has a few of the ideograms in there as well. But it doesn't have everything. It doesn't have everything in the Ibn Washir text. The Clements of Alexandria, who was obviously a Christian, Egyptian Christian, writing in the 3rd century or 200 AD. He gives he actually breaks down the different types of systems that they do have in terms of the hieroglyphs, the heretics, and the other script as well, which is the demonics. He gives a good breakdown of that in there. Let's see, Zul-Nun al-Misri. Zul-Nun al-Misri was a Sufi who actually claimed to actually have the understanding of the Egyptian hieroglyphs and passed it on towards the Sufi schools. Let's see who else we've got there. And we've got John David Archibald. Yeah, a lot of these people actually got most of the information. I believe it's him or another one who got about 500 sources from actual Arabic text itself. Yes. So So yeah, there is a good history of decipherment going on. But you know what I would really love to see, I would want to see how, you know, my brother young Pharaoh will counteract this information. Do you think our brother young Pharaoh could counteract this information that you're putting forward? Is there a spanner in the works in terms of the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph system has not been deciphered?
Yeah. Yes. I will go into that probably Wednesday because um, the system that was used by Champollion, what he did was compare catorch, and he used deduction and he used educated guesses for fact, meaning that he did supposedly. So if we compare Ptolemy with Cleopatra catorch.
So one second, my brother. I know you're going in, but if you could just unshare your screen, because I need our audience member to see your face right about now.
Okay.
There we go.
Of dealing with that, some people would, well, adversaries this 100-year-old topic that me and you and other researchers already know to be deciphered. But to those who don't know and would counter, they would try to go to the system on how it was translated, meaning that they will actually go to and say, well, he used deduction and educated guesses. So they would say that those educated guesses would indicate that they are guesses and not accurate. So what I did to counteract that was I went to linguistics. I'm qualified in linguistics. I'm taught by a couple of professors in linguistics that have doctorate degrees in linguistics. My school deals with linguistics. So we deal heavy into linguistics. My first linguistic book was from Dr. Raketi Amin. So what I did was use the comparative linguistic method to show that Champollion stance, even his educated guesses, were dead on accurate, meaning that Ptolemy, he counted the number of glyphs that was in that catorch. And then as he counted the number of glyphs in that catorch, it said the same thing in Greek. And he compared the Greek sounds and put it and said the Egyptians must, you know, say the same sound as, you know, the Greeks did in pronouncing his name. So that's how the system was, you know, built on. So to prove that if it's accurate or not, you know, as scientists, even I had questions, certain glyphs, you know, I had questions. So what I would have to do is I have to show a comparative linguistic method as Champollion did with Coptic. So I had to show that with not only, you know, the Egyptian languages, but Niger-Congo languages, Nilo-Saharan languages, and Afro-Asiatic languages. And what I did was choose African languages that was closely in that proximity. And as I chose from close proximity, I chose from also oral traditions of those African tribes that said that they came from either the Sudanic area or they came from the Nile Valley directly. And what I came upon is that it showed corresponding elements. I mean, exact elements. Words not only were similar, but they corresponded with each other. So actually the system that he used, Champollion, was 100% accurate.
Jeez, okay. So you know what? I got a lot of people who's tuning right now. So everybody who's tuned in and you're loving the information that you're hearing so far, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're liking the information. That's paramount right now. Let me know that you're loving the information that you're hearing, please. You know, somebody asked here, Common Sense asked, didn't you use the Rosetta Stone?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question. You know, in terms of your research, did you use the Rosetta Stone to confirm whether it is accurate or not?
Yeah, it was Rosetta Stone was already used over 100 years ago to confirm this information. Not only the Rosetta Stone, but the Iblis was used, and also a cannabis jar. Is not talked about, but a jar that had cuneiform on it that said the same thing. And we see that in the Egyptians spelt the name of the cuneiform ruler exactly the same, even using Pharaoh. in his text. So not only that the Rosetta Stone proved it and the ibelist, but a whole nother artifact with Meta Netjer on it proved it as well. So of course.
Okay, so everybody who's tuned in right now, please, I'm just gonna quickly go over to our other to the channel. If you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button over here on Titans TV. Obviously, we do loads of conscious lectures, discussion, debates, and interviews. We try to put our episode every Wednesday, or randomly throughout the week. If not, we do Speakers Corner. So if you haven't tuned into Speakers Corner, where we have a lot of our brothers, in the community and sisters as well, debating every single week. We have, Kemetics, we have atheists, we have Muslims, we have Jews, we have Hebrews. We even had our brother from America come down to the UK and actually challenge, I was challenged, from the jump by a Muslim. And that was quite a very interesting debate. So we got, the Hebrews, we got the Muslims. What else? We got the Sikhs. We got everybody coming down and actually doing debates on our channel. So please check that out. We've also got loads of playlists. We've got Brother Polite's playlist. We've got our popular playlist, numbering in, over 250,000 views playlists. So please check out our channel if you haven't already. And if not as well, please check out even my stuff that I do. So I have my own little playlist down here, so you can check out the work that I do. I do a lot of stuff on the Kemetic stuff, a lot of stuff on Islam, a lot of stuff on the Hebrews. I dedicate a lot of videos to these different communities. And also we have African history and philosophy from brothers such as Ranoko Rashidi as well. So if you can, and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And join in with us, and we put forward some information. We put forward content every single week, if not every single day at times of the week. So please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I know we've got my brother here. We've only got him for a short period of time. Okay, this is just like this is a taster right now. This is a quick taster of the information that we got in store for you. And you know what? I've actually recently discovered something. Let me just actually share my screen once more, because this is something that I've recently discovered. I want to know. I want to see who amongst you are my real diehard Talk with the Titans TV fans. Peace, Kalam. Oh, my sister Mel P. What's good, sis? I've discovered something new over here, which is the super chat. So if you ever would like to send me a super chat and donate some money to the channel itself, literally just type in the amount. I heard that it goes up to £500. Damn! Imagine if somebody loved me that much. But if you can, please help us to actually put forward these great information as possible. All you have to do is just type in how much money you want to put in there, plus a chat, and your actual comment gets pinned right to the top. So if you can, it will be awesome to show your support, show me that you really are there to support the channel and to help us actually grow. So please, if you can support, hit the support button. Otherwise, I would like you to support. If you're not even going to support me, please support my brother Netjer. Let me go back to this again. Support my brother Netjer. He's got a website called the Netjer Research Center database, and it is Netjer or PRNTR research.com. Okay, so he's got literally a research channel for the community. And he does a lot of work on there. The DVD, which is the systematic history presentation, is on there, and it's going to be released very soon. I've seen this is the actual DVD case right here, and he goes into a lot of linguistic comparisons with the Old Egyptian, Middle Egyptian, Coptic, Kalenjin, Bukusu, Luo, Somali, Bemba. So all of these things. So my Somali brothers, I heard my few Somali brothers talking in Speakers Corner. about the links with them and the ancient Egyptians, about they coming from the land of Punt and so forth. So please check out his work, support the brother. And I know he's got a lot of research articles and books that would be released soon, if not already released. So please support the brother and all the great works he does. Here is how you can get in contact with him. You can email him or call him by hitting these buttons, or if not, just simply go to his channel. Go to his channel and go to his Facebook. Furthermore, go to his Facebook, hit him up in the comments, hit him up in the DMs, and talk to him about the information he's done. Share some information with him and share the love and purchase. I can't say it enough, because our brothers spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources, learning this information, to give this information back to you. So if it's possible to purchase a DVD, that's $20. Come on, that's not a lot of money. To purchase a book, $30, that's not a lot of money. Just imagine how many countless hours he spent up, or even other people within the community spent up doing the research, doing the due diligence, writing up this information. You know how much time, they could be spending this time with their family, with their children, and they're actually sacrificing that amount of time and resources and money to give it back to our community. And more time is always for free. So if it's possible, please, I can't say it more, please support the community so our community could keep on supporting you. My brother, I know we're running short for time, but you said something real interesting about, we can see these sound correspondence in other African languages. So this is like a supplement to say, definitely the language has been deciphered, because we can see the language spoken in other African languages that say the same thing and means exactly the same thing or similar things as well. So I don't know if it's possible. Can you show and prove? Because I'm in dismay. I don't believe you personally. I don't believe you can possibly show that this ancient Egyptian language, this dead language that's been dead for the last 3,000 years ago, can actually be relevant today in society, where other languages, other African languages, if ancient Egyptian is an African language, mind you, is speaking this language now. Can you actually show and prove that?
Yes. Do you see my screen?
I see it perfectly. Let me make sure it's
Well, with the comparative linguistic method, I will go deep step for step the next show. We see Egyptian and Dinka correspondence here. So when you're doing a comparative method, you must choose a basic word list. From there, you compare potential cognates, or words that's similar to Egyptian, and from there, what you would do is you would generally examine the potential cognates, and you will find a correspondence. Correspondence is what connects a language genetically to another language. For example, we take Egyptian rek, flame, and in Dinka, which my source is cited in this work, you have luck, fire. So every time in Egyptian you see an aura, in Dinka it is a L, and it is known for R and L to interchange throughout world languages. So we have rek, to know, a same spelling in Egyptian, same glyphs with different determinative. And then in Dinka you find lik, which is, you see the diacritical marks there on top. So you see to inform. You see double onset correspondences, meaning two auras in Egyptian, two mouth glyphs for nursing. And in Dinka, you see double correspondence of L there, meaning to nurse or nurse. You see Murdet in Egyptian, which is the R now is in the middle. I already showed you the beginning, a double onset correspondent. Then I showed you a middle correspondent, where the aura, Egyptian auras, is found in the middle of the word. So that means mulberry tree. Now, if we go to Dinka, the correspondence is this L from the R corresponding is still found in the middle in Dinka. And we have millet, which means shrub or berries. Myrrh, Egyptian, you see it's at the final. It's a final onset R in as land, and then in Dinka you see Mel, which is final L for soil. So we see these correspondences here. Now we can go elsewhere. We have hundreds of correspondences in the Netjer, and these are just samples in my work. So we find effect for father in Egyptian, F in a P corresponds in Dinka. So anytime in Egyptian you see a F, in Dinka you will find a P. So effect father in Egyptian, in Dinka is a peth, shaman. A shaman is considered a father-like type figure in Dinka. Not only is he a father type figure, a father in Egyptian is based on rank as well. It's not just, dealing with family. So it's the rank of it. And you see the semantic meaning there. So you have fika, to grasp, in Dinka, peck, to seize. You see fit, to hack at in Egyptian, and piat, to hammer in Dinka. Fit, a kind of plant in Egyptian, and pith, grass in Dinka. Fit, now water in Egyptian, and port, pools in Dinka. And we see clearly here that as language change through space and time, the semantic meanings may change, but it still holds a linguistic relation to each other. You see in Egyptian, fed for now water is interesting, and in Dinka is port for pools, is still dealing with water. And fed, a kind of plant, and pith still deals with vegetation or grass or things of that nature growing from the ground. You see to hack at, fet in Egyptian, in Dinka, piet, to hammer. Also, if we take a look here, I actually use 17 African languages in this to further my hypothesis in theory is that, well, maybe not just Dinka, maybe I'm going to use 7 or 8 or different African languages. So here I chose to use Coptic, Kalijan, Yoruba, and Dogon. Remember, the key point here is historical context. What historical context do I have for these African languages? One, the first historical context is that Kalijan is an Nilo-Saharan language in which linguistically, in linguistic sources, Nilo-Saharan was derived out of the Sudan. The Niger-Congo language is derived out of the Sudan. So I purposely chose Afro-Asiatic to put the Afro-Asiatic language in, and though an unclassified language in that they don't know where to classify this language at, and it's found in the Paleolithic, which is the Dogon language. So we see in Egyptian duat for plant, Dinka, D and T corresponds in Dinka for tit, trees, in Kalijan, toot, hedge, in Coptic, jutst mean tree, in Yoruba, which is a vowel sound before it, is ododo, flower. In Dogon, it's dua, tree, which seems to be the D has dropped, which in case it happens in linguistics. You have dim, to cut in Egyptian, Dinka, tim, to cut in Kalijan, tim, cut in Coptic, kend, ho, in Yoruba, idun, axe, in Dama, ho, which we see a reduplication of the M there. So in each case, the semantic meaning has something dealing with to cut, either cutting with a hoe, axe, or just to mean to cut in itself. So we find these correspondences all throughout African languages exactly.
Who? My brother. I have to stop you there, because boy, if I could drop bombs right now, I'd be just boom, bombs everywhere, boom, boom, bombs. Because this is crazy. I'm gonna be real with you. My brother Asai Hotep, he is a linguistic genius, but even him hasn't demonstrated to this variety and to this depth in the African languages, how they're connected with the ancient Egyptian language. My brother, I'm not going to take anything away from him. He usually shows one language or so is connected with the ancient Egyptian language. But you, I I'm gonna put it out there. I haven't seen this. Honestly, word hand in my heart, I haven't seen this anywhere else but from your research. So again, I'm saying Titans TV endorses my brother Netjer. And one more time, I have to do this. I have to share my screen right about now. I have to share my screen because I know a lot of people are going to be asking, like, where can we find more about this brother? Listen, my brother's going to be on again. He's going to be on again on Talk with the Titans on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday he's going to be on again, and you can find him at pernetterresearch.com. That's PRNTR research.com. Okay, pernetterresearch.com. And I'm going to put this link in the description box. So after this is finished, or once you're watching this, in the description box down below, you're going to find this information, okay? And you can see what he's been up to. You can see the sound correspondence in the various different language: Kalenjin, Dinka, Egyptian, Yoruba, even Yoruba. Hey, where my West Africans at? Where my Nigerians at, man? Please stand up. Okay, all of those doing with the IFA system and so forth, please stand up and see the connection with West Africa, with the ancient Egyptian, it's with ancient Egypt itself and the language. So please, everybody, I'm saying it now. Titans TV endorses my brother. He's gonna be back on again on Wednesday. This is basically like a little, a sneak preview. You're just getting a little sneak preview of what's going on, or what's taking place. And I know you don't want to be seeing him again. If you want to be seeing him again, please hit the like button down below. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section as well, that what you want to see from this brother. Because this brother is going to be giving you information upon information. And I know a lot of it is going to be... And please, if I've got my Seti fans out there, my young Pharaoh fans out there, I want you to drop your comments in the comment section. Whether right now, if you're watching right now live, please drop it. If you're watching afterwards, please drop it as well, because this brother is one of the most skilled brothers in the Medu and in the research and linguistic methods. Okay, so if you want to ask a question, if you've seen something from the Sara, Suten, Seti debate lecture and the Pharaoh's debate lecture, okay, and it's puzzled your mind, and you think to yourself, like, this language has not been deciphered, or if you think you've got a trick question that you can catch him to say, but brother, like, I've got a trick question right about now, but brother, you say that the ancient Egyptian language has been deciphered, but I could turn right now. Let me turn right now. Let me see. You see, I've got a whole pile of books right now. Let me see, which book can I... I can pull out a whole... we've got the for those people, please, these are the books that you need to get if you want to know and learn about the language itself. This is James P. Allen, The Middle Egyptian. There's actually a third edition that's out right now. But brother, you say that the Egyptian language has been deciphered, but I've got a real trick question going on right now, because I can go into the garden list, and then we've got a whole section right here in the garden list. Let me just see if we can show it to you. Let's see over here. And it's called AA, unclassified. It's unclassified. So this clearly indicates to me that the ancient Egyptian language hasn't been completely and fully deciphered, because the Egyptians themselves, this is the Egyptologists, they say it's unclassified. They don't have a clue what this is. So so that's my trick question. I'm gonna throw onto you. That's my trump card right about now. I'm gonna be throwing on you, but not now, not today, because unfortunately we run out of time. But next week, Wednesday, this is Wednesday, okay, people? I want you to tune in and listen to the information. Grab your pens, your paper, your books, your questions, your comments, and let's get it in, because that's going to be a real powerful lecture right there. My brother, I know you got some things to say. We've only got a few more minutes, but drop what you need to drop right now.
Well, yeah, I save it for Wednesday for the unclassified. I understand your point there, but I have, some things.
Don't touch on it. Don't touch on it. Don't touch it. I want the people to come back to hear what you got to say. So, so if you can just drop some links of like where they can find your work, what you're gonna be delivering Wednesday. Wednesday again. What time Wednesday?
Anytime you set it up, I'm gonna be ready for you. in the audience, you can find me at Netjer Research Center, pernetjerresearch.com, or Netjer Nab, Kitty Hartley L on Facebook, and or Netjer Research Center, African History, Ancient Studies fan page on Facebook or YouTube.
Jeez. Excellent. Excellent. Now, you know what? Let me just shout out my quick sister, Letitia Webb. If you're still tuned in, shout out to you. Mac Tip as well. Shout out to you. Letitia Webb, she goes in, man. She goes in. I see her like, I get abreast. I get informed from her a lot of the times. She posts up some real excellent links on from the YouTube, Sara, Netjer, etc. That keeps me abreast with the information. So I have to shout out that sister. I have to shout out my sister, Karba Nebti. I've got to shout out my sister as well, Monica Lam. These are the sisters that keep me. I haven't seen sci-fi for a minute as well. So these are the few sisters that keep me up to date with what's going on in the community. But what I want to do, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something. Hopefully, for those people, if you're logging off, but you don't even know what's going on right about now. Hopefully, I'm going to try to see if I can get my brother Young Pharaoh on whilst you're doing your presentation right at the end. See if he's got any questions to throw your way as well. And that would be real interesting because I want to see the opposing view. Because so far you've been dropping some bombs that's real interesting. That's got me like, wow, you know, like, I'm sided like secretly, you know what I mean? I'm sided with you right about now because you're dropping some powerful information. So yeah, again, I'm going to close off the show. And I'm going to thank everybody who's been tuned in with us right now. If you can, please just share this link as much as possible. Let everybody know that next week, Wednesday, the 6 p.m., should be 6 p.m., latest 7 p.m., but 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to have my brother Netjer Neb on, and he's going to be going into the decipherment process, going in on the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph language, the different scripts that they have. That's the hieroglyphs, the cursives, the heretics, the demotics, the timeline again. You know, it's going to be so much powerful information. So please tune into that. I've been Kalam L. You've been watching Talk with the Titans, and we've been featuring my brother, my sinner, my sinner, Netjer Neb. So peace, King. Salute. Signing off.
Salute.